Chainlink pumping over 18% in just the last 24 hours. It was so obvious that this was going to happen, and in this video I'm going to show you exactly how I knew it was going to happen before it did, as well as that look at where Chainlink is going in the next few months to a couple of years. So hit the like button and let's get into this video. So guys, in yesterday's video I told you that we reached 30,000 subscribers, so thank you very much if you're subscribed. I also told you I'll be doing a $100 giveaway in XLM tokens, which I'll be doing in the next video I make today. So make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and write XLM down below if you want to win that prize. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So as you can see across the crypto bubbles, Link up 18.7%. We are seeing a very exciting period in the market right now, having seen money starting to flow, it seems like, out of Bitcoin into larger coins such as Link. XLM we've seen having a good run, XRP. And today as well we can see marker moving up. So how do we know that Chainlink was more than likely going to see a bit of growth? Well, as we can see, this tweet from Santiment is very important. We can see that the amount of Chainlink whale transactions was hitting a high back in June or mid-June. So we knew that there was a lot of big whales starting to move into the space. The price, however, remained fairly low, wasn't doing much. And you saw various videos saying that the Chainlink was not particularly good and this was happening and Chainlink will never see any good growth. You need to ignore all of the noise that you're hearing in the space on YouTube often, because a lot of it will give you false indications of what's actually happening, but the data doesn't lie. If you can get into the data and understand what it's all doing, then it gives us a good opportunity to see what's going on. So we can see here, the amount of Chainlink whales transactions since 2003, prices fell to a 3-year low. So the prices were low, but the whales were loading up, usually the way your markets work. Once you see a post like this from here, Santiment, good worth a follow, then you can use this information. What we're going to do is come across to Chainlink on CoinMarketCap. I'm going to copy this Ethereum address. We can then come across to the token analyzer, which is free. I'll leave a link for it down below in the description. Just need to sign in, get yourself a free account. And then what you're going to do is come down to where it says token address. I'm going to paste in that address of the Chainlink address. Remember, it was an Ethereum address. It says Ethereum down here. We then come back across Token Analyzer. And then what we want to do is put in the number of days. Now, we know that Chainlink has been pumping literally, here? So back in the last sort of couple of days. So I'm just going to put in here 5 days. So I want to know who's been buying in the last 5 days or so. And then I can see some of the metrics going on. Then make sure I've got the chain Ethereum selected. Now, then what you need to do is hit enter. I've obviously already done that. You can see 425 new wallets today, 6,129 new wallets total. This is good, okay? Showing that it's growing. And in the past, I showed you a video where we looked at Pepe coin. And after that big boom, Pepe had like 15 new wallets added. That's a good indication that you're about to see a turnaround in the market when you're not seeing new wallets and things being created, because it indicates the buyers are starting to dry up. Come down below. We can see some interesting stuff. You see whale holdings for this particular token. You can see that these are like the top ranking whale wallets. In first position, you've got $11.3 billion. Moving down the list, some pretty big whale wallets, okay? Very important to check out that there's some good size chunky whale wallets in. We can then see all of the details here. But what I want to pay attention to, top 100 trades by estimated profits. What we can do is we can come down through, we can see the volume of trades as well. Okay, so we can see the people flowing in. You can see the number of people who are buying around these positions. In the last few days, we've seen these people buying. This person's already in 350K's profit, but they did buy $2.6 million worth of tokens. So you can pay attention to what's happening, what the big whales are doing. And actually, if you want to delve in deeper, there's another cool thing you can do with this. These are the wallet addresses. So I know that this guy has already made a good amount of cash. What I can do is I can copy a wallet address, like this one here, who you can see literally bought yesterday. I can copy his wallet address, and then I can come across to DBank, another free website, and I can paste it in up here. And then you can see details on what this guy's got in his wallet. Currently $247,000 in Link. You can then see other things that he's buying and selling. A lot of Ethereum right now, $247 million. Loads and loads of cash in here, right? And also another cool thing on DBank you can do is if you click on more, you can then come down, you can click on whales, and you can see which whales are holding what tokens, okay? So you can come down through, see a lot of them holding Ethereum, a lot of people holding Hex right now. Very interesting. Come back. What do we see? Hex up 9% today. Okay, so there's a very good clue. Great way to find people and what's going to likely surge just by paying attention to who's holding it, okay? Don't just listen to some guy in YouTube telling you this is a good buy, this is a good buy. Obviously, you know, pay attention to what I gotta say, but you need to go do your own work off the back of what I say and what anyone else says. Because if you invest any money and you lose it, it's no one's fault but your own, okay? And this is very easy. Anyone can do this. I think you'll agree. Now, another cool thing that we're paying attention to right now, why I think we're seeing good growth in Chainlink as well as other coins. This is the blockchaincenter.net. Another free website, guys. And what you can see is between this gap, or sort of lower down here, you're in Bitcoin season. And then what we start to see is a creep towards altcoin season once Bitcoin has a cool off. And I'll show you what this looks like on the charts. As we look into Bitcoin, what we usually get is a flood of money into Bitcoin, followed by that, like Ethereum, and then large caps, of which Chainlink is one of those. You're seeing Bitcoin pushing up quite aggressively and then just having a bit of sideways action. Not much going on right now. Currently sat just under 30K. Will Bitcoin slowly just continue to creep down a little? Perhaps we see some money coming out of Bitcoin. And what then happens is Bitcoin dominance will fall. Now, in a video I made the other day, I told you that we were running into the 1.618 on the Bitcoin dominance chart, and we were likely going to see a pullback in the Bitcoin dominance down towards this level at around 48.1%. We've got this double bottom here in the green pattern here, a bit of an accumulation phase as well. You can see I would anticipate a retest of that level. We could see a bit further pushing going on in some of the large caps right now. So are we going to see more push in Chainlink right now? Let's take a look. Now, one thing I've been very wary of when we look at coins like this, I've already seen a good pump, this is a very sizable pump towards the upside, is to throw a bit of caution, because I know what happens when you buy big candles, guys. Often you get a big red one afterwards. You buy a big green one, you get a big red one. And that is typically very true in most coins right now. But Chainlink shows us something very important. Now, I talked about this in a video I made on Chainlink the other day, and I was talking about the accumulation, or the Wyckoff accumulation phase. Now, Wyckoff was around in the 1920s in Wall Street, and he basically said that he could identify patterns that the banks were doing over and over again to identify where they were accumulating and where they were starting to sell off the top. This is a perfect, pretty much example, and you can see is a Wyckoff accumulation. What we see is we have a drop down to an area, and then we have multiple kind of peaks and troughs, and then following that, at the end, we have a very much deeper drop that goes just below the lows, these previous lows here, to collect liquidity. This down here represents liquidity. What do I mean by that? Well, you know that people long and short the market, which means they bet on the market going up or down. And they've used leverage, which means, for example, if I've only got $1,000, but I want to buy $10,000 worth of a token, I can use 10x leverage, which means I'm risking $1,000. And if it goes up 10%, I double my money. If it goes down 10%, I lose everything. If it goes down and hits my stop loss, takes me out the trade, it will liquidate me, and it will turn my buy trade into a sell trade. What's very important about this is big money is trying to accumulate at low levels, so they dip down and they force all those sells from all those people who will get stopped out, and that allows them to buy a lot in one quick move, and this will then let them move in the other direction. Here's another little interesting fact. Many big trading firms on Wall Street will allocate something like $50 million in a morning just to move a market in the opposite direction, to shake everyone out and get the liquidity they want before they move the other way. Pretty sneaky, right? We're starting to see this coming into crypto, and we will see more of that once you see things like the Bitcoin ETF coming in. Now, this is very interesting to pay attention to, because this dip shows me that we have finished the accumulation phase. And while we do have a nice, big, sizable push towards the upside, and we are running into a very important area of resistance, I do think that Chainlink is going to see a push out of this zone. And it actually, whilst I don't always advocate buying big candles, I do think that what we're looking at right now is a fairly reasonable chance that we're going to see Chainlink pushing up towards around sort of $12 or so, which could be a move around 50%. Now, I'm not saying that you go and load up. And I know yesterday, if you watched the video, talked about not buying big candles. So this is what I would do right now. Bearing in mind that I think that we're going to see continuation in Link. I was obviously buying in the video I made the other day down in this red circle area. And if you were subscribed, you would have been doing the same. You'd also be subscribed if you want to win $100 in XLM tokens. But what I'm thinking right now is we could see a good leap beyond this zone, and we could see a very quick move for that same reason that a lot of those short sells, if we move up through there, we'll collect liquidity on the other side of things, and those short sells will turn into buys which could push the price very quickly. That would see 50% move. So how do I get involved without risking too much? If I've got $100, I put in $50. This is me. This is not financial advice. This is what I would do. I would put in $50. If the price, for whatever reason, comes bouncing back down, and I put in my $50 and it comes down 36%, then I can buy another $50. Then I'm not so much down, right? Then I've got good exposure. If it comes back up, which it will at some point, then I'm happy days, okay? But if I really can't handle it and I put in my $100 right now, I have to be all right with the fact that at some point I could be looking at a 36% or $360 loss if I was to take a sell. If I just stay in it, then yeah, I just locked up that money for more time. But the best thing to really do if you're not being able to watch charts all the time and you're not able to always move money when you need to move money is to simply DCA in. That means buying in when the prices are low, like you should have been buying into most cryptos over the last few months or so, like I've been telling everyone on my channel and in my Discord and my free Telegram, which is linked down below, to do throughout. But realistically, where can we see Chainlink going? Well, we understand all that Chainlink offers, right? Chainlink provides a real-world use case through oracles, taking real-world information and bringing it onto the blockchain. Fascinating, important, essential, easy to understand as well, which is very key because many people will invest, wants to get into bull markets in things that they can simply understand. For me, it's much easier to understand an oracle, although it's kind of complex. Basically something that's taking information from the real world and putting it onto the blockchain. So that might be like gambling data, that might be weather data, that might be money data. It's fairly easy to understand, unlike things like liquid staking derivatives and ZK stuff, which we talked about in yesterday's video as well. That helps the use case. That helps Link to be able to build because it means that people will understand and more easily invest in it because people like to invest in stuff they can understand. Ever wonder why ALTCOIN was so popular with people? It's because it's easy and simple to understand. And we can see from Chainlink here, guys, from the current price back to all-time highs, you're looking at 5x. Now, that's not massive. I would agree with you. But I do believe that this, again, is following a very similar curve to what we saw in Ethereum in the last bull market. I think from the top of here, very similar to what Ethereum did in its first bull market. Now, Ethereum, if we look into its last bull market, which was this, I've already got like nice drawings on it here, which was this down here. We can see it got a high of what? 1394. From that high to the next peak, it did 252%. But from that low to the next peak, it did 45x. 45x. Chainlink, I do believe we can come and have a look. To be from these lows down the bottom, now we are obviously above those right now, you will be obviously aware. But if we were to take from the bottom and do a 45x, then that would make it $220 Chainlink, which from current levels is a whopping 24x. Big money buying into it right now. We're seeing a big push in the altcoins. We're going to see altcoins driving forward first. The larger altcoins that have been around and more established and getting big whale money flowing into is where I'm looking. That's where I'm looking right now. Obviously, I'm not just going to sit and hold Chainlink forever. I've talked about this before. I will start to take profits out of these coins and then move it into the kind of the smaller cap altcoins down the line where I can chuck in $50, $100, etc. to be able to see potentially 100x, 1000x, because that's where we're really going to see the biggest growth. And that's what we need to do as we move through a bull market, take money from big coins, move it to the small ones. Guys, if you enjoyed that video, hit the like button. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. And also write XLM down below if you want to win $100 of XLM. See you in the next one. Bye-bye.